evening. Hello. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us today through Winterfest. I hope you've had a fantastic day. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege this evening to be closing the evening with my three wonderful guests around me by doing a festive edition of the UK Crime Book Club pub quiz, just not in a pub, no, in different my dining room and whatever rooms it looks like, studies, workplaces, maybe Chris looks with that curtain in the background. It almost looks like you're in some sort of ward or something there, Chris. Not quite sure what's going on there. You've not been committed, have you? No, I will run through the guests. I will run through the rules, and then we will begin. So, joining me today, we have Sam Holland, author of Echo Man. Some of you may have recognised Sam from previous incarnations in this group as Louisa Scarr, also written as Louisa de Lang. Sam, hi, how are you? How are you feeling?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent stuff. Feeling confident or nervous ahead of today's quiz?
Not confident, but quite relaxed, I guess.
That's a good start. That's a good start. Relaxed is always a good way to face up to these things. Returning today, we also have Tony Kent, author of No Way to Die, Marked for Death, and The Killer Intent. Tony, how does it feel to be back? How on earth did we convince you to go through this again?
Well, Chris texted me and I didn't realise it was the same thing, so I just said.
Excellent. I knew going for a middleman would pay off. I knew it would pay dividends. And Chris, yes, of course, you did contact Tony and Sam after I contacted you. Thank you so much for that. What a great panel we've got. How are you feeling, mate? Are you glad to be back?
Yes, I'm very competitive. So ask me again at the end and we'll see if I'm glad that I've come back.
Well, speaking of competition, I do think I've got perhaps the three most competitive authors in the UK Crime Book Club world with me today. And it's a good thing as well, because there is no prize for the winner, no prize for second place, but a wonderful prize for whoever comes third today. Yes, it's the return of the UK Crime Book Club wooden spoon. Oops, you failed. Yes, that will be winging its way to our lucky loser today.
I'm not telling you where I live. No, I haven't.
To be fair, estimated time of delivery 6 to 10 months at the moment. But, solidarity with our Royal Mail strikers, of course. We're in no rush, guys. You get what you deserve before we send out any wooden spoons. Lovely to see so many people popping up in the chat. If you do have anything you'd like to say to our quizzes tonight, do please pop it in there. I will try and keep an eye on it as best I can, which is probably never. And I will try and make sure I pass on any questions or comments. The way this quiz works, I will be asking 5 rounds of questions. My authors will be playing along with me. They'll be writing down the answers. At the end of every round, we will go through the questions and work out the answers. There's no shouting out in the chat. We're all playing for a little bit of fun. If you want to play along at home, please do so. At the end, it was great to hear your scores, great to hear how you've got on. But please, no shouting out the answers in the chat. That would be heartbreaking. And I would hate to accuse anyone of cheating. Everyone comfortable? Everyone happy with that? Everyone got a pen and paper ready?
Yeah, my pen and paper set.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Round one, shall we begin?
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, round one, usually regular patrons to the UK Crime Book Club quiz will know that we usually kick it off with a round all about crime books. Sorry, I've got a cat jumped on me. Today is no different, other than it's a bit different. We've had a brilliant Winterfest, of course. Some incredible authors have been on hand here today, so it's time to pay homage to them with a round totally about all the great authors we've heard from today. Top marks all around for all three of you incoming, because I know you've been glued to the show all day. Been nothing, no football on at all.
No birthday parties, no anything, no hangovers.
No, absolutely not. And I am going to make it relatively simple. All joking aside, I've got 9 authors and we've got 9 book titles. I'm going to give you the name of a book. You just link it to one of the authors that's been on today. Before you start opening other windows and working out who the authors were, I will recap the 9 authors we've had on. So if you want to make a quick note as I'm reading them out. Victoria Dowd, Martin Edwards, Tom Mead, David Mark, Chris Curran, Robin Morgan Bentley, Olga Wojtas, Liz Hedgecock, Kate P. Adams. 9 authors. 9 books.
This is not going to go well.
Shall we do that again? Because I've got 3.
I'll write those names down again. So we've got Victoria Dowd. We've got Martin Edwards. We've got Tom Mead, David Mark, Chris Curran, Robin Morgan Bentley, who didn't turn up, he was ill. Olga Wojtas, Liz Hedgecock, and Kate P. Adams. Obviously, Robin didn't turn up. Yes, I do appreciate that. But of course, I'm not going to remove him from the quiz just because he couldn't turn up today. That would be really unfair. This would be the highlight of the day for him, without a doubt, being a question on the pub quiz. Right. So the first title, all I want to know is which one of our authors wrote All the Little Lies? Which one of our 9 authors today wrote All the Little Lies? Question 2. Which author wrote Rich Girl, Poor Girl? That's Rich Girl, Poor Girl. Question number 3. The Guest House. Which author wrote The Guest House?
I actually know this one.
There we go. There we go. And by process of elimination, you've now made the other 8 questions a 1 in 8 chance.
1 in 8
9.
chance. Woohoo.
This round is shaping up, Sam. In fact, if you write the same name down for the other ones, you've got 2. Cooking on gas. Question 4. The Supper Club Murders. What am I getting?
What was Liz's name? You said Liz someone, right? Because I'm guessing her for this.
Liz Hedgecock.
Liz Hedgecock.
And what was the name of the book that you just said?
The Supper Club Murders. Question 5. Murder in the Wings. I'm being informed that a number of authors wrote question number 3, The Guest House, but I'm looking for the one of those authors that appeared on our panel today.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is not on this list.
Research went awry there. Question 5 is Murder in the Wings. Question number 6, Death and the Conjurer.
God.
Good title.
It is. Number 7 is
What was it? Death and the what?
Death
Conjurer.
and the Conjurer. That's amazing. Wow. There you go. I did not know that. Question 8, Original Sin. And finally, question 9, Miss Blaine's Prefect and the Golden Samovar. Great title. It's a great round, this one, actually. I love having it first. It's really nice for the viewers at home.
Oh, okay. I've missed one.
Yeah, I've missed a few.
No, I mean I've only got 8, and there should be 9, shouldn't there?
There should be 9. I'm just counting to make sure. Right, so I'll go through them all again. Number 1 was All the Little Lies. 2, Rich Girl, Poor Girl. 3, The Guest House. 4, The Supper Club Murders. 5, Murder in the Wings. 6, Death and the Conjurer. 7, Mortmain Hall. 8,
Oh.
Original Sin. And
Mortmain
9,
Hall.
yeah, 7, Mortmain Hall. 8, Original Sin. And 9, Miss Blaine's Prefect and the Golden Samovar.
I've got one too few names, clearly. It's like Mortmain Hall, but there's no room for Mortmain Hall.
I love
It's
this
gone
round.
really badly, Ben.
It's gone terribly well, hasn't it? It's a wonderful round for those playing along at home because obviously all fans of
They've been
UK
watching all
crime,
day.
member authors, it's their specialist subject. And also, I love watching the guests on this show squirm as they go, oh my God, I've met that person. I should know their book. Or I should know something about UK crime, and I don't. Wonderful.
In my defence, it's the first thing I said during the questionnaire. I know nothing about crime writing, including how to write it.
I think you've blagged your way through that second part quite well, to be fair.
I've randomly allocated.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this works. This is how I passed the bar. They gave us a multiple choice test.
He said this last time though, both, and he won. He beat Neil Lancaster. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for his disarming.
No, I think Tony's like one of these one of these secret weapons you get on.
He's a hustler. He's a hustler, definitely. Before I throw the spotlight onto yourselves, of course, let's talk about authors that have caught your eye in 2022. Doesn't have to be crime, of course, but is there any books that you've read that this year that you thought, wow, that was absolutely superb?
I discovered Disher, Gary Disher, for the first time.
What title was Gary Disher, just for sorry,
Bitter Wash Lane was the one I read, and then I read another one as well, which name I've completely forgotten.
I was going to turn my head to get the name. I read two,
Bitter Wash Lane and another one, his latest one, that was very good as well.
Yeah. Chris, anything for you? Does Tony looks at the bookcase there?
I've discovered.
I was looking for the name of Judith O'Reilly's new book because I've forgotten the name.
Which is great.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Sleep When You're Dead. My eyes have got so bad. Judith is just, I mean, I've not discovered her this year. I met Judith when I was up in for the Durham Waterstones around the time of Mark for Death, so 3 books ago. And I think she's Jude O'Reilly now, so we're not allowed to say Judith. I think it's Jude. But yeah, she's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think she should be writing Bond, personally. I think she basically is writing Bond. She's writing the Michael North stuff, and it is really very, very good. Very, very good. What I am very excited about is the next M.W. Craven series, which I believe is going to. I think Fearless is going to be the first one. I think it may be Jack. I think it may be the new Jack Reacher. If it's got the talent, if he writes as well as he writes Cillian Poe, but in that slightly different genre, that more sort of American Jack Reacher genre, I think it could be really special. And also Tariq, whose surname always I could never pronounce without looking.
I really liked Welcome
Ashkahani. Yeah, Tariq Ashkahani, absolutely fantastic, excellent writer.
There's some good recommendations for the TBR piles going into 2023 for anyone who hasn't discovered any of those authors yet. Shall we have a quick look, of course, at the answers? Because I'm sure you're dying to know. Question 1. Who was behind all the little lies? Does anyone know?
No.
Do you want to know my random allocation?
Yeah, go for it. Random allocation.
I went for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Chris something.
Chris Curran.
I don't know. I just wrote down Chris.
Chris was the only Chris we had, and Chris Curran is the right answer. Correct.
Yeah, well done.
Sam out of the box nice and quick there.
That's wrong then.
Rich girl, poor girl.
Victoria Dowd.
It was not. It was Liz Hedgecock. Rich Florence and Flower Girl Rose look so like they swap lives, and in doing so, stumble across the secrets and schemes that put them both in danger. Question 3. There are apparently 3 answers to question 3. I was looking at the authors at their back catalogues and, obviously went with this one for this author. Did not look at the other authors to see if they'd done a similarly titled book. So this one, multiple correct answers. But the Guest House, who did we have?
Robin and Morgan Bentley.
Yeah, Robin Morgan Bentley is the answer I had. I will accept David Mark or Chris Curran writing as Abby Frost, as they all wrote a book called The Guest House as well. Thanks, Sam, for popping that into my ear after I'd asked the question. Yeah, that made me that did some research, didn't it?
Well, I'm pleased with that because that was a total guess.
Yes, The Guest House. Jamie and Victoria head off for a last weekend away before their new baby arrives. But when they awake to find themselves locked in the guest house with no phones or means of escape, and the baby come in, they have to find a way out. Question number 4, the Supper Club murders.
Victoria Dowd.
I put Victoria Dowd.
Yeah, Victoria Dowd indeed.
I got those two totally mixed up. I got one. Brilliant.
Very close. Yeah, Ursula and her mother attend a supper club on the edge of the Dartmoor village, only for someone to be brutally murdered at midnight. Who will be the next to be murdered? It's book 3 in the Smart Woman's Quiet Mysteries. Number 5, Murder in the Wings.
I put Chris Curran, but that's not right.
I put Kay. I've only got Kay Adams written down. So
you've got Kay. You've got it right again, Sam. Correct.
That
is the second book in the Joyce and Ginger mystery series, seeing the friends head off to London and visiting Kenneth, old friends of Joyce's mother.
Can I get it for Katie Adams? Because I think I misheard you.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I didn't even write. I just wrote down Kay. I didn't.
That's why I heard Katie.
Kate P. Adams was the full answer, but, you know, my poor pronunciation. Question 6. Who was behind Death and the Conjurer?
Martin Edwards?
Tom Mead?
It was Tom Mead indeed, yes. A celebrity psychiatrist is found dead in his study with no way for the killer to escape, no witnesses, no evidence. Question 7. Mort Main Hall.
Martin Edwards.
It is Martin Edwards, yes, sir.
It's got a very cool cover, which is how I remembered it.
Yes, excellent cover, actually, yeah. Rachel Savanake attempts to piece together a sequence of baffling mysteries with help, or sometimes hindrance, of an impetuous journalist and an eccentric female criminologist. Question 8. Original sin.
David Summit? Don't know what that says.
David Mark, yes. It's the second D.S. McAvoy novel. Susie Devaney's best friend Simon has been murdered, and now it appears she's in the killer's sights. And finally, number 9, Miss Blaine's Prefect and the Golden Samovar.
Olga
something, must be.
Olga Wojtas, yes. Shona must pair up the beautiful orphaned heiress Lydia with Sasha, a gorgeous young man of unexplained origins. And she may well have got the wrong end of the stick about her mission. And as the body count rises, can she work out who the villain is? There we go. Now, that's the end of the first round. That's it. You've survived the first round. From here on in, it only gets better, folks.
Bloody better.
That is the crime round out the way, sort of. Now we move on to a Christmas classic. Look, this is the Christmas quiz. What is a Christmas get-together and a little bit of party games without a game of charades?
Oh, God.
Is this where the email comes in?
This is where the email comes in. Yes, you've sussed it, Tony.
If you make us sing, Ben, my Wi-Fi is going to be very strangely bad all of a sudden.
Well, we'll get to that, Sam. We'll get to that.
Yeah, it's going to drop out.
I have sent each of my guests here today an email with the title of a book. I'm going to ask them in turn to act out, using the power of charades, the title of that book. The other two will guess said title of the book. There's a point for the actor if it is guessed, and of course a point for whoever guesses. So, yeah, there we go. I will begin with Sam up on the top row with me here. Sam, would you like to act out your book title for me, please?
So the one you sent me an email?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
2 words. Little Ghost.
There we go. Excellent stuff. Little Ghost, written, I believe, by Chris McDonald. There we go.
It's amazing.
Chris, tell us about Little Ghost while I've got you here.
Little Ghost is a PI story set in America. It features a private investigator who gets drawn into the adult entertainment industry, where he has to go hunting for someone.
Excellent stuff. Yeah. And I will, in
Very
that
Christmas.
In that case, well, Chris, let's get you to do your charade, please, sir.
No Way to Die.
Tony spotted the theme here, hasn't he? Chris, was it No Way to Die?
No. Yes, it was.
There's no way to die.
There's no way to guess.
I believe you know a little bit about No Way to Die. I'd like to share that with the audience there, please.
No Way to Die is the 4th novel in my series about Michael Devlin and Joe Dempsey. Although Michael Devlin's not in it, so it's just really about Joe Dempsey. It's a sort of a race across America, a race against time. Intelligence agents tracking down some would-be terrorists. It was out last year in hardback, out earlier this year in paperback. Should have been followed by the 5th book in October, which unfortunately life got in the way. So that will be early next year instead. But it's the 4th book in the trilogy. It's a race against time, action political thriller.
Excellent stuff. Brilliant.
It's great.
And I believe that leaves me with Tony to do your charade, please.
The Echo Man.
Oh, I wonder. Let's start with doing this.
The Echo Man, indeed. And Chris, you've actually butted in and you've took Sam's title away from him, stealing the points. Look at the competitive.
I wanted to see how he was going to act out Echo, to be honest.
Yes.
I planned it. I was going to do this. I was going to do.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, clever.
But I was going to do the and man first just to help.
Sam, tell us a little bit about the Echo Man, if you would, please.
So the Echo Man is about a serial killer who copies the very violent and nasty crimes of notorious real-life serial killers. So Dahmer, Bundy, Manson. Features two detectives, one called DCI Cara Elliott and one called Nate Griffin, as they basically live through probably the worst 10 days of their lives trying to solve the crime. So it came out in paperback about a month ago. It's 24th of November. And it's not really a sequel, but the follow-up, I guess, will be out in May, and it's called The 20.
So is that with the same detectives?
No, so it's the same world, but it's new detectives, new story. But number 3, which will come out 2024, will be the same detectives again. So Cara and Nate will come back, and
right,
and
it's kind of the same series.
Number 2.
Yeah, they kind of connect.
A Holland verse.
Yeah.
Pardon?
A Holland verse.
Yeah. I like the whole universe idea. I love that.
Yes, yeah. It's like Marvel and DC. It's the universe.
Super stuff. And obviously, you've been on UK Crime Book Club before, writing under a different name. What's prompted this change? Is it due to the change in tone of the books? So tell us a little bit more about.
Yeah, I mean, we went out on submission with the Echo Man, and through that we started speaking to. So obviously we signed up with HarperCollins for the Echo Man, but through that we started speaking to a little digital. Well, they're not that small now, but a digital first publisher called Canelo, and they were interested in writing with me as well. So we just said, all right, and we sold a 5-book series to Canelo at the same time as we sold a 2-book to. HarperCollins. So I just wrote a lot of books in a very short time.
Someone's asking what the other name was.
Yeah, Louisa Scar. So they're more slightly gentler police procedurals. So it's about two detectives called Robin Butler and Freya West, who live in Southampton and basically go about being police officers and solving murders and that sort of thing. So it's not as violent as the Sam Holland books. I guess that's the differentiation between them. So we've tried to keep them separate, but it's all getting a bit silly now.
Yeah, was that a decision? So obviously the different author names, was that a decision based upon the fact that it was different publishers, or a decision based upon the fact that it was different genres as such?
I mean, both. They're very different in style. So you wouldn't want to read a Butler and West and think, oh, okay, I'll pick up another Sam Holland and it will be the same, because it's just it's a lot more violent and a lot more death. so we just said we'll just keep it separate and do it that way. But yeah, I mean, it's been fine. Because
Chris, you sort of dabble. You write in cozy and you dabble outside of cozy as well, don't you? But you still write under the same name, don't you? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Is it something you've contemplated? A different name for the different genres, or?
Well, yeah, for the Little Ghost, so I did like police series, cozy series, and then I started this PI story, and my publisher said we should probably do it under like a pen name. So I did, and then when I saw the cover for the first time, he'd put my name on it, so I didn't query it. It's an ego thing. I was like, oh well, it's a me one.
So what was going to be your pen name?
It was going to be EC Grace, which was just my daughter's initials, and that was it. There was no real thought went into it, except for he went, you need a pen name, and I went, okay, this will do. And then he didn't use it. So
he clearly sat there and went, that's no.
Yeah.
I hope that book's better than that pen name you say.
Excellent stuff. Right, and Tony, would you ever change your name up if you were going into a different genre, or?
Yeah, my name's not Tony Kent anyway, so I'm happy to get rid of it. Now, there's 2 things I'd love to write. I've had a couple of ideas that I'd love to write slightly different genres. I'd love to write something a bit like Rumpole, which would be very, very different. So obviously I've got my barrister character, Michael Devlin, but he's not, but Michael Devlin doesn't do much barristering in my books. He just kind of happens to be one apart from one of the books. But I'd like to write something, the world of the criminal bar, as it was actually. I mean, I'd have to write it slightly back in the past, 20 years ago when I joined, when it was horribly politically incorrect and very funny. Now it's become, it's become very precious and very, very miserable. So I'd like to write a story, sort of just real life stuff back in the old days when it was fun and great. So I'd like to do that, and I'd do that under my real name, I think. But I'd love to have a crack, and I'd like to do slightly a cozy crime parody. Because cozy crime is very sort of these middle class guys turning up like reverends and this, that, and the other, and solving stuff. I'd like to do one where a tarmacker turns up and gets told to piss off the site because he's like a roofer, and he's on the crime scene. It's like, well, you're not a reverend, or you're not a vicar or something. I think you could write something quite funny. I think around cozy crime, rather than trying to write cozy crime, write sort of a parody of that. Now, I'm not sure if I can write anything funny. I'm not sure.
I mean, cozy crime's quite funny in itself, isn't it?
No, it is, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, kind of a slightly broader parody of it. Not because I don't like it, or not because it's just that I think it'd be quite a funny thing to do. But I think actually, I probably wouldn't have any legs at all. I'd probably give up after a chapter. I'm not entirely sure I can write anything funny anyway. So.
Yeah, my two main characters for my cozy crime were two like 20-something idiots who'd watched too much Sherlock on telly and fancied to go because they were interested in seeing if they could outsmart the police, really.
Yeah.
So I quite like that idea. I
quite like that because that doesn't often happen. Often it's something that be very middle class, can't it? And very and if you deal in crime in real life, as I do every day, you do kind of look at it and think, it's like it's not I like that, is it? And so a parody I think would be interesting, but I don't have the time. I probably couldn't write it, and it's probably just an idea that pops into my head once that will never come to any form of fruition.
There's a lot of love for it in the chat at the moment. There's a lot of love for it in the chat. I've got to say, your pre-orders are there, mate. Your pre-orders are there. Right, that's the end of round 2. We're moving on to round 3, and this is the Christmas music round.
Wonderful.
Sam's gonna kill me here. You don't have to sing anything. There's no singing. However, you do get a bonus point if you sing any of the answers. Sorry, Sam. You said that you didn't want any singing, and unfortunately, then I was like, well, I'm going to have to do a music round. Right. So this is how this round's going to work. I have taken 5 Christmas songs, and I have written a blurb in the style of a crime novel for each Christmas song.
That's good.
A Christmas song from you. Happy with that, everyone? That will make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, when we get to the answers, if you do sing the song to me, you can have a bonus point.
What about if I play it off my iTunes? So you can actually recognise it.
Well, no better put it on YouTube then. Banned. Right. Okay. So question number 1. When a man finds himself in a New York prison in the run-up to Christmas, he tries to explain what happened to his partner. But can their dysfunctional relationship survive this?
Can I be?
Am I writing this down, or are we?
This is a writing it down. Yeah, just a.
It's a writing it down.
You're still writing.
Right.
Yeah, always writing. I think there's going to end up being some sort of GoFundMe started up for this parody of yours, Tony. There's a lot of love going on. So question 1 again. When a man finds himself in a New York prison in the run-up to Christmas, he tries to explain what happened to his partner. But can their dysfunctional relationship survive this? What Christmas song is that the blurb to?
Who knows?
Question 2.
It's a mystery.
It is.
Question 2. A mysterious entity makes a list of people's behaviour, working out who is nice or naughty, taking care to go over it on multiple occasions before arriving at their location. Do not cry. Which Christmas song would that be the blurb to the straight to the works version?
I want 5 points if I do the Bruce version.
Question 2 again. A mysterious entity makes a list of people's behaviour, working out who is nice or naughty, taking care to go over it on multiple occasions before arriving at their location. Do not cry. Question number 3. A man spots a strange figure with what appears to be a reindeer in Queens, New York. When approached, the man disappears, leaving only his wallet containing $1 million. The man must make the decision whether to keep the wallet or head home and then maybe mail it back.
What?
I need to pay more attention to Christmas songs.
You probably this is one where you'll go, well, I don't know that one, but then you'll have all heard it. You'll have all heard it. Guaranteed. You've just not been paying attention to the lyrics. A man spots a strange figure with what appears to be a reindeer in Queens, New York. When approached, the man disappears, leaving only his wallet containing $1 million. The man must decide whether to keep the wallet or head home and mail it back.
I'm calling bullshit on that one. That's not a Christmas song.
That is absolutely. The word Christmas is even in the title. The word Christmas is. I'm giving you a clue here. The word Christmas is in the title.
Right.
I'm just going to write down Christmas.
Not the only word in the title. Question 4. And in fact, if anyone does sing that one, I will give them like bonus points because it would be impressive. Question 4. A deranged stalker sets a final ultimatum to Santa to deliver to her the object of her desire for Christmas. Oh, thank you, Donna. That's very kind. She said I was so clever. I have my moments. Question 4 again. A deranged stalker sets a final ultimatum to Santa, asking him to deliver to her the object of her desire on Christmas morning. And finally, question 5. Desperate for love, a man resorts to offering up body parts, only for them to be discarded by the object of his affection the very next day. Question 5 again. Desperate for love, a man resorts to offering up body parts, only for them to be discarded by the object of his affection the very next day. Give everyone a quick moment there to catch up. What's everyone's favourite Christmas song? What's the one that you've got to get the needle going to get you into the mood this year? What song?
Number 2. Sung by Bruce.
I don't think I've heard the Bruce Springsteen version.
No, really?
I don't even know what song it is.
We'll get to that. Sam, what about you? What Christmas songs guaranteed to get you feeling festive?
I'm really not. I'm the least festive person in the world.
That was a bar humbug exhale of hair when I asked you that question.
Yeah, if I could skip Christmas, I would be like 100% in for that. Like, just completely gloss over Christmas. I'm really not a Christmas person.
Pick the right month to get you on this show.
I know. I don't know whether you're getting that vibe. That sort of very cynical.
I mean, you've got kind of like a humbug style top on as well. You know, the black and white stripes and everything. It looks a bit like a humbug.
Well, I mean, you could argue that's France, but anyway.
And they're feeling quite humbug at the moment as well. So yeah.
I really don't. There was a version actually that Coldplay did on Radio 1. Shows how old I am. When it was Chris Moyles on Radio 1, that was "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," but they did it like really slow and really depressing. I really liked that. I have now to track it down since.
Chris, what about yourself? Any Christmas tunes?
Yes. There's loads of good ones, but Blossoms, who are a band from Stockport, put out one last year, I think, or the year before, called "It's Going to Be a Cold, Cold Winter," all about the kind of downsides of Christmas. And it's quite funny, but it's also really upbeat. I mean,
it sounds about the downsides. Yeah,
it sounds great, Chris.
But it's really good.
Come round Christmas Eve, mate.
It's got a cracking bass line. That's all I need in the song.
I will put that into Spotify later on and give them the some token of my 0.001% pence play. Let's get the answers, shall we? Question number 1. Man finds himself in a New York prison in the run-up to Christmas. I've probably given you enough there with the fact that it had New York in that.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was, of course.
It was Christmas Eve.
And the drug
Yourself them extra points there. That's it, Chris.
Look at you going for your bonus points, Chris.
I told you I was competitive.
I sang in the drug tank. I want it as well.
Yes, of course. It was Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl. Question 2. Mysterious entity making the list. People's behaviour. Do not cry. Yada, yada, yada. It was.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
It was indeed,
Or
yes.
as Bruce would do it, Santa Claus is coming to town.
That's an excellent Bruce Springsteen style. Stan. Got the right crowd. I can't do it. You did it well, Tony. I'll stop there. Question 3. This is one that seems to have you all stumped. A man spots a strange figure with what appears to be a reindeer in Queens, New York. There's a clue in there. But when approached...
Baby, please come home.
No. When he approached, he disappears, leaving only his wallet containing $1 million. The man must decide whether to keep the wallet or head home and mail it back. Queens, New York, home to Hollis Avenue, Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC.
Never heard it. I just Googled that so I could shout it. I was going to admit that I Googled it. And it came up as
Have you seen Die Hard, Tony?
Yes.
Then you've heard Christmas in Hollis.
It's in there.
Yeah. When he's in the limo with what's the limo driver's name? I forget the limo driver. Anyway, he asks him to put on a song, and he puts on a Christmas song. He goes, "What is this? This is a Christmas song." Yeah, this is a Christmas song. Christmas in Hollis, which was from a compilation charity album. I forget the name.
Never ever heard that. I'm going to have to go and watch that now.
That's the one when they're driving in at the start. He says, "This is a Christmas song," and it's Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. Question 4. Deranged stalker setting out a final ultimatum to Santa to deliver the object of a desire.
Santa baby?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it Santa baby?
No. All I want for Christmas is you. Yes.
Oh. Well, Santa baby also works.
Santa baby works for that perfectly as well.
Yeah, I think it works.
More so, in fact.
Yeah.
Don't you bend to them, Ben.
I'm going to have a think about that. I'm going to have a think about
All I want for Christmas is you is not sang to Santa Claus. Santa baby is sang to Santa Claus. That's the right answer.
I'm going to send it upstairs to the VAR. We'll have a think. Question number 5. Desperate for love, a man resorts to offering up body parts.
Come on, Sam, sing it.
Last Christmas.
Hey! Yes, it was last Christmas. I always remember I want to say disappointment when I learned that the film Last Christmas is actually just the lyrics to Last Christmas turned into a film. They actually did that.
Yeah.
I don't believe they thought that was a twist.
The first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I made a joke about that to my wife.
You got a heart transplant, and no one else can see this fella.
Yeah.
I wonder what this is about. It's like, I'm sorry if this is if this what I'm about to say is a spoiler. It's been a very long time. It's when everyone was surprised by that film. I See Dead People, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely didn't get that one.
Scene. Of course he's dead. Right? It's just
I will
crazy.
get it now though, because the Last Christmas one, I think the first 10 minutes, I said to my husband, she's had a heart transplant. He's dead. Nobody else can see him. And Chris was like, "No, that's not true." But yeah, totally.
You're right. So I made a joke about it to my wife after she watched it, thinking, saying, I bet they've just ripped it off. And she went, "Yeah, no, that is exactly what they've done." Oh, really? Oh, trying to be funny. How rude. Shall we have a quick look at the scores?
I think we should have a vote on Santa Baby first, because I'm adamant that
I tell you, I'm going to pop the lyrics up while you guys tot up your scores.
What totals of everything?
Yes, everything that we've had so far.
How did the second round work?
You got a point for guessing it.
You got 2.
And no, he got 3 because he guessed it Sam's.
He guessed mine. Yeah. Nicked mine off me.
Did you get that? Did you guess someone else's?
Yeah, he guessed someone else's.
I didn't think we were allowed to do that. It was obvious who it was. Okay,
I'm going to say no. Santa Baby, she's not after a person to be delivered. She wants a yacht. She wants
loads of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
further down, at one point she asked for someone to be delivered later on because she's basically asking for sex. She got in trouble for it.
Santa Baby, VAR, no goal.
No. But your one isn't even to Santa, which is what your question was. She's saying all I want for Christmas is you.
I got it.
Well,
and only because he said he'll be very impressed if anyone sings it. So I reckoned it was Mariah.
The line is, Santa, won't you bring me the one I really need? Santa, won't you bring me the one I really
fair enough,
need?
that isn't it then. But go later into Santa Baby. She's talking about bringing people. Anyway, I knew I personally think there's no way that Santa Baby is any less right than that one. But you're in charge.
Apart from the facts I've just delivered. Right, what scores have we got?
13.
13 for Chris.
I think I'm on 10.
10 for Sam.
I'm on 10 because you won't give me 11.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd still not be winning.
I'm only on 10 because Chris nicked my.
Chris, none of us knew we could do that. That wasn't fair.
Now I'm gonna make a quick point here, and I don't know if this might change how Chris plays the rest of the game. I can tell all three of you are really competitive, and I think that's showing quite a lot. But only one of you has a gun license and a gun. Hi, Sam. Yeah. So, Chris, just be careful next time you steal someone's book answer. Don't steal from the person with the gun license and the gun. Hey, Sam.
Also, I think I need extra points because I'm the only one that actually did my homework and filled in the questionnaire.
That's true. Have a point. Have a point for that. Yeah. Have a point.
Hang on, that means I'm losing.
And I'm gonna get. And I think I'm gonna get one for owning a gun too. So there we go.
Well, I mean, there was no way the women's thing was going to you, Sam. I can assure you. So yeah, owning a gun license, Sam. So what? How come? Because that's not a normal.
How come? I didn't just go out and buy it. I needed to do some research a long time ago when I was starting out. So I contacted my gun club and said, "Can I come along and fire one?" And they said, "No, you're not allowed. You have to join the club. You have to blah blah blah." So okay, so I joined. Basically, became a member, got a probationary license, and then got a full license, and then bought a gun. So yeah, it's for target shooting. So
yeah. It's something that you've got into as a hobby post, just the research. Then it's something that you continue to do now.
Yeah. So I still do it now. I do target shooting basically with I borrow the club rifle and I have a semi-automatic 2.2 handgun.
Wow, stuff. Awesome.
In a safe, locked away in a safe that nobody can access. It's all very legal, all very above board, all very safe.
And Tony, you're a boxer.
Used to be.
Yeah. So, Chris, how are you feeling about winning at the minute?
Well, considering I'm about 200 miles away from everyone, I'm sitting pretty.
We're never destined to meet, Chris. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I know. It was you walked past me at Newcastle Noir, didn't you? It was passing ships, but now I know you've got a gun. I'll steer clear.
I leave it at home generally, I have to say.
Generally. Right then, we'll move on to the next round. Christmas theme continues with this round. This round is called Pass the Sprouts. Yes, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without the humble sprout. So to pay homage to this most wonderful of vegetables with a round just solely about sprouts. Yeah. A bonus point for anyone who eats a raw sprout during this round.
Chris, if you've got a raw sprout to hand, then I'm going to call this a fit-up.
If I had my dog with me, then I'd get him to eat it. But
team player there, the dog. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 5 questions about sprouts. That is simple as it is because I love sprouts. I love, they're the best thing about Christmas. I'm paying homage.
No.
So question number 1, true or false? 50-50 chance, kids. Brussels sprouts are named after the capital of Belgium. Question number 1 again, true or false? Brussels sprouts are named after the capital of Belgium. Question number 2. To what larger group of vegetables do sprouts belong? Question 2 again. To what larger group of vegetables do sprouts belong? Number 3, multiple choice. Linus Urbanek holds the record for the most sprouts eaten in a minute. Was it A, 31, B, 36, or C, 41? Three again. Linus Urbanek holds the record for the most sprouts eaten in a minute. Was it A, 31, B, 36, or C, 41? Question number 4. Unveiled in 2013 in November, what did sprouts power on London's South Bank? Question 4 again. Unveiled in November 2013, what did sprouts power on London's South Bank? And finally, what was the heaviest sprout ever recorded in kilograms? And I'll give you a half kilogram either way, so we'll round up or down to the nearest kilogram.
Heaviest sprout ever.
Yep. So that's what was the heaviest Brussels sprout ever recorded in kilos? Sprouts gone on everyone's plates this year?
No.
Yep.
No love for the sprout, Chris.
No love for the sprout now.
Sprouts and smoked pancetta.
Sprout, smoked pancetta. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Sam, what's going on the plate this year? Anything?
I like sprouts.
You like
I
sprouts?
eat them all year round, actually. You can get them all year round. I really
You
like
can.
sprouts.
You can. You have to have people who are willing to allow you to eat sprouts all year round, and not,
Yeah, but if you eat anyway, I was going to say if you eat them year round, you don't have a problem when you only eat them once.
Is that true?
You just get used to them, don't you?
I suppose you would do, wouldn't you? I'm going to bring that argument up now. Thank you. Sam. Oh, excellent. It's made my day. Has everyone got their Christmas dinner plans all in hand? Are we looking forward to a nice dinner this year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Family, traditional sort of thing, or?
Yep. Family. We're off to my wife's sisters in Kent, and we're going to have dinner there, and then back to ours for Boxing Day for my enormous family to come round and have a big platter on our table in the living room, in the dining room.
There's nothing better than the buffet day, the Boxing Day buffet, the buffet day boxing.
I'm going for ribber beef on that one. We'll have goose on Christmas Day, ribber beef on Boxing Day.
Oh, nice.
Anyone else got any plans they want to share?
We're just sticking around here, and then we've got some family coming. Both me and my wife's family, like mine still live in Northern Ireland and hers are down in Tenby, so it's like ages for anyone to see each other. So we tend to stick around with the two kids and enjoy it.
Yep.
Nice.
And Sam, anyone?
I've got,
you
yeah, all my family are descending. So my brother, his family, and then my mum and dad. So yeah, whole lot. My husband's cooking. I don't cook. Well, I don't cook Christmas Day. So, yeah, should be fun. All the kids,
Stuff.
3 kids.
Super. We shall we have a look at these answers then?
Yes.
Who
Oh, sorry. Oh,
look at there.
my sinus is just acting up. Sorry. Okay, we're good.
Super. The Sprout. True or false? Then it was named after the capital of Belgium, Brussels.
True.
True. Of
False.
course, it's true. It feels like it should be a trick
True.
question. It's not.
It felt like it should be, but I couldn't think of any other thing.
That's called Brussels, yeah, apart from sprouts. Although native to the Mediterranean region, they first appeared in Northern Europe in the 5th century, later being cultivated near Brussels in the 13th century, which is where they got their name from. Number 2, what family are they a member of?
Cabbage.
Indeed, the cabbage family, more specifically the Gemifera cultivar of cabbages. Excuse me, tickle there. Yes, the cabbage family is what I was looking for. The record for most sprouts eaten in a minute.
31.
I said 41.
31 is the answer. I mean, if anyone does fancy having a go at beating it, I'll get the stopwatch out and we can.
I just figured you can get really small ones. So if you chose carefully, you could probably easy do 41.
I would imagine there's got to be a standard size for the Guinness Book of Records to say that's minimum sprout diameter. Yeah. But 31 doesn't feel like a lot to put
One
in.
every other second. I thought that was quite ambitious.
You could probably just chew and then swallow.
It depends on well
Like
if
two
you've
once,
really overboiled a sprout. Not that I've thought about this a lot today. If you've really overboiled a sprout and it's nice and mushed up,
Yeah, it just goes in.
quick.
I once did 9 Ferrero Rochers in a minute. If you can do 9 Ferrero Rochers, you can
Oh,
definitely
there's
do
a
more than
record.
31 Brussels sprouts.
That's close to the record, Tony.
It is, but I think it's one off the record.
Yeah.
it's
we
my-
were- I was
it's my
talking about
proudest
this
thing.
You ate 9 in a minute.
I've done the cracker challenge, but I've never done the Ferrero Rocher. Crackers
I tried to
are a little
replicate it on a
horrible.
podcast thing with Angela Clark, and it went very wrong. I managed 3 because I kept laughing, having spoke myself right up.
That's
That's good going though. 9. They
Yeah.
are big, solid chocolates.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Are you building up for another crack at it, or
No, I humiliated myself so much with Angela. I'm not doing it again.
Next year, Ben.
next year? I'm going to talk you around it all year, Tony. And next year, live on the show, we're going for a world record. There'll be a whole Ferrero Rocher round next year. Question 4. What did Sprouts power in November 2013?
Carousel.
I wrote Battersea Power Station.
It
London
was
Eye.
lights on a Christmas tree. 1,000 raw sprouts were used by scientists from the Big Bang UK Young Scientists and Engineers Fair to create the decorations. 1,000 sprouts. Lovely picture them all lined up in a big.
Apparently 9 in a minute is the record, so I've equalled the record.
Oh wow! Well
But
done.
there were,
I think this is definitely a plan for next year.
there was no representative Guinness in the pub where I was doing this. So,
There was lots of Guinness.
that was, I'm pretty sure about 4 or 5 pints of Guinness is why I thought I could do it.
And you did. You did. We'll, yeah, I can see that happening next year. Yeah, we'll do something. Number 5. What was the heaviest ever sprout?
2.3 kilograms.
I put 5 kilos.
I'd said 7.
Oh, Chris was the closest, although I do like the fact that Tony went with the decimal and got the 0.3 correct, but it was 8.3.
Really?
8.3, yeah, 8.3 kilos by Bernard Lavery. It's always a Bernard of
Good job,
Harry
Bernard.
Wales.
That's just
Wow.
bollocks. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. That's
Other
not
sprouts
stupid.
facts: you shouldn't eat sprouts on blood thinners as they have a clotting agent, and it has led to hospitalizations in the past.
Really?
And sprouts may also improve your libido, although of course you do need to get the balance right so that you don't end up killing the mood as well. Which of your characters, guys, would you? Which of your characters would you invite round for Christmas dinner, guys? Which characters would you want round, and which characters would you not want round for your Christmas dinner?
I'd have Michael Devlin round because he's got great taste in whiskey and he's rich, so he'd probably bring some. I would not have Joe Dempsey round because, frankly, that man could start a fight in a empty phone box, and he's harder than me. So.
Chris, Sam, which of your characters do you think would make good company for Christmas?
I mean, I would definitely have Griffin round because he's hot. I mean, that's the only justification I need, I think.
Yep.
Cara would be a good laugh, I think. I wouldn't have, and I'm not going to say because that's a spoiler, because he's a psychopathic serial killer. Although it could bring a dimension to your Christmas day that makes it a little bit more interesting.
I mean, he's better than charades, isn't it?
Well, they could different sort of quiz, but yeah. So,
and if Chris ends up stealing the answers when we play charades, problem solved.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Lesson learned. Not going to happen again.
I like hanging out with most of my characters, so I think even I think most of them will come around because I spend a lot of time with them anyway.
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean that is the truth. That a lot of time is spent with these characters in your head anyway. So that having a dinner with them doesn't seem such a weird concept. Chris, anyone you'd have at the top of your list?
Yeah, there's a character in my new one called Brother John who is like a madman, but I think he's quite caring deep down. He wears monk robes so he can fit more weapons in.
He's got a lot of wisdom.
That sounds very caring, yeah.
He has got a lot of wisdom, yeah. And I think if the kids were misbehaving, he could give them a look and it would all calm things down. So he could be like scary babysitter.
Or psychotic monk with weapons.
Yeah. Ben's gone.
Lost Ben.
Right.
Right,
What
quick.
happens
Well,
now?
Oh, this is really fun. I have no idea where Ben's gone.
I'm the host now.
Ah, so we'll just carry on for a minute. Where are you all on scores at the moment?
I'm on
I did
12.
badly. I'm
I
on
can't believe
13
I'm
now.
winning.
16.
Yeah, you're doing really well.
You're on
Sam.
13 because you got an extra point for filling in the questionnaire. It's not fair.
And I gave myself an extra point for having a gun.
Right, so you're actually on 11.
I got 1 point. In
Ben's
this
coming back and I'm going to disappear.
Okay.
Trying to disappear.
We are still live, aren't we? Yep, we are still. Sorry, I could see you all. Chris just froze middle of his robe story, and then I was gone. But I'm back.
What about
Sorry,
other,
Sam,
someone said, what about other authors' characters? What other authors' characters would you like to have around?
Ooh. I'd quite like to talk to Ruth Galloway because I think she'd have lots of good stories about interesting things.
I think I'd like Harry Flashman.
How come Harry?
Harry Flashman from the Flashman series. Because it's just the most inappropriate character. It would just be hilarious because I'd make sure I had the right people sitting there too who would be offended. I would invite everyone I know who is as right on as it gets and just sit back and watch the chaos. It'd be great.
Not that you like to stir it in any way, Tony. And Sam, any fictional characters you call it?
I'm trying to think, and I'm not coming up with any more than because I quite fancy them, which is the worst possible justification.
These are valid opinions, to be fair.
Well, I mean, I'm just kind of like lining up just a list of hot men.
Very steamy. It's very steamy dinner you're going to be having.
I know. I think we should be going out on the town. I don't think any of this dinner.
The worrying thing about it is apparently your husband's going to do the cooking. So.
Well, yeah. Well, he can go out for a much better time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing very well. I kind of came up with like Aidan Waits from Joseph Knox's series, or Adam Tyler from Russ Thomas's, but they're just because I like the dark, very dark, very disturbed detectives. But yeah, actually trying to think, my mind's gone blank, as they always do. But yeah, if anything more like deep and meaningful than just because I fancy them.
I mean, who hasn't invited
You've got me on for
the
intellectual
because
stuff,
I think that's probably the most, one of the most often used reasons in real life. So I don't think there's any problem in in a literary imaginary sense that either. Perfectly valid. Right, we shall move on to the penultimate round because we're running well over now, especially with that, which is the return of an old favourite. It's Bookmanto. This time though, it's festive Bookmanto, of course. It's got a festive twist. Instead of two books being bashed together to create one new super book, which is the usual way we do it, this time I'm taking one book and one Christmas Carol and combining the two into a new title, giving you the blurb from the book. And all I'm asking for is the author of the book that I've stolen, the name of the carol that I have also stolen to create a strange creation.
I don't understand anything you've just said, but that's just
right.
Anyone else as lost as me?
Sam's delighted that I bought this. The way Bookmanto normally works, I take two books and I crash the two books together, the two titles, to create a new super book. So you'd have, for example, if you would say Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Flies. No, that doesn't work. That's just the same. But
Flies of the Rings.
Exactly. You get a new title and then a combined blurb. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, let's just crack on. We'll work it out.
Just
you said you're looking for an author. You want the author?
I'm looking for the author of the book and the name of the carol.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Let's do it.
No points for singing this time. Question number 1. Hark the herald web of deceit. When Dancer Angel is found dead, suspicion falls on Tony, who's pursued by both DS Bill Murphy and gangster Jimmy Matthews in the 4th in the Dundee crime series. So who is the author of the book? And who and what is the carol? I've crashed into it. And the title of that one again is Hark the Herald Web of Deceit. Question number 2. Choke back the infant. Which sounds terrible. When childhood sweethearts are brutally murdered, Michael Brady must find the killer and keep his team together in the 4th book in the Michael Brady series. Who is the author of that 4th book in the Michael Brady series? And what is the name of the carol?
What was the thing?
Choke back the infant. Yeah, I know, it's awful, isn't it?
In every conceivable way.
Yeah. Which is why when I saw it in my head form, I was like, yeah, that's going in. Yeah, that's going in.
How does the scoring for this work? Do you get a point for each?
Yeah. So there's 10 points on offer.
I have no interest in the scoring because I'm getting none. I still completely don't understand this.
The time traveler lay bounden. So when a supposed time traveler is killed in 2050, it allows Harry Hook to investigate her murder and discover what happened to his sister more than a quarter century before. What's the name of the author behind the book? And what's the name of the carol? that's created the time traveler lay you bounden? Yes, that's a carol. I always loved the name. Number 4, while shepherds watched through his eyes, which is helpful because it's the whole title of the book in there. Kim begins to suffer absences when she sees through the eyes of another person, a man she doesn't know, who's doing appalling and terrifying things. It's only a matter of time before she ends up at his mercy. What's the name of the author? What's the name of the carol? While shepherds watched through his eyes. And finally, number 5, away in a blood tide. DX Max Craigie uncovers evidence linking the disappearance of a fisherman to the death of a young man who jumps from a bridge. If you can't work out what cost them their lives, more bodies are going to start turning up. Name the author, name the carol for Away in a Blood Tide.
I finally understand the game.
I knew you'd get there, Tony. I should have done that. To be fair, I should have done that one first. I knew you'd get that one. I should have done that one first. That would have made it easy, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's not all about making it easier, is it? It's about exposing the moron who can't understand even relatively simple concepts.
I wouldn't suggest this was a relatively simple concept. It's just perhaps been done too many times now. Sam loves it, so maybe it is a relatively simple concept. Sorry, Sam. Should we have some answers?
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So, hark the herald web of deceit. So the carol's pretty easy.
Hark the Herald Angel Sings.
Exactly the point there. What's the name of the name of the book is Web of Deceit. So who's the author? One of our member authors in the group, Chris Longmuir. Web of Deceit. Yeah, the latest book in the Dundee crime series. Choke back the infant. So the carol would be The Infant King.
Nope.
Didn't know that one.
More obscure one, admittedly. And Choke Back the
Mark
Tears was the book.
Mark
by Mark
Richards.
Yeah, Mark
Yeah, I got Mark Richards.
Yeah, correct. Number 3, The Time Traveller lay ye bounden. Well, the carol is Adam lay ye bounden. No idea what that means. Just like saying it. And Andrew S. French, another one of our author members who's been on this quiz before, is the author of The Time Traveller's Murder. Number 4, while shepherds watched through his eyes, while the carol is while shepherds watched their flocks, or while shepherds watched in his proper title. I accept both. And the book Through His Eyes is by...
I put Jack Jordan, but I think that's right.
It's admin of our group, Kath Middleton. And finally, Away in a Blood Tide. Tony finally gets it. The carol is Away in a Manger.
Yay.
And the
Neil
book is
Lancaster.
Blood Tide by the current holder of a wooden spoon himself, Mr. Neil Lancaster.
So despite getting it, I did actually get 2 points. And also, I got 2 points for the last one, but I did get 2 of the carols.
Yeah, there you are. The carols were the easy part.
Well, obviously.
It's
the rest of the
recap
concept
of the
I just
score
didn't
before we
understand.
move on to the last round. What's everyone clocking at the minute?
I'm now
21.
On 18.
21, 16, and what was yours, Sam? Sorry,
18.
18. Tony.
I'm going to point out again, Sam's includes getting a point for having a gun and getting a point for having filled in a questionnaire. That isn't actually fair.
You could have filled in a questionnaire, Tony. There was nothing stopping filling in a
I'm standing by
questionnaire.
this. You're on 16. We're drawing.
Yes, but she's got a gun.
I know.
Right.
That's
The
why
final
I'm
round is here.
getting Larry on a screen.
It is the Christmas general knowledge quickfire round.
This is where it's all going to go wrong, Tony. Don't worry.
It's 15 questions. They're general knowledge questions, but they're done in a quick fire manner. What that means is I am going to read them out really, really quickly twice. So you need to write down the answers really, really quickly twice. That's how we do a quick fire round with no buzzers. That's how we do it. So do pay attention. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number 1. Right, I'll just keep going. Number 1. How many days of Christmas are there? Number 2. What plant should you kiss under? Number 3. The 3 gifts bought by the 3 wise men were gold, myrrh, and what? Number 4, which good king looked out on the feast of Stephen? Number 5, what is the surname of Kevin and his family in Home Alone? Number 6, on which day is New Year's Eve this year? Number 7, who sang Step Into Christmas? Number 8, which royal is widely accredited with bringing the Christmas tree to the UK? Number 9, which sauce is served with turkey? Number 10, December the 21st is the shortest day of the year, is referred to as the winter what? Number 11, in which town was Jesus born? Number 12, when is Bin Day? Number 13, how many maids were milking? Number 14, in what season does Christmas take place in Equatorial Guinea? And number 15, name Santa's reindeer. That's multiple points.
All of them.
15. I'll give you a moment.
I missed a question at some point. I'm only on 14.
Well, I'll go through them again in a moment. You can bump some down when you realise. I'll give you a moment for that last one, though, because obviously it's...
When you say that Santa's reindeer, do we also include the ones that isn't in the night before Christmas?
I've got 9 official ones. I know there's another... There's another song that's got some other one, another song or stories that got some other ones. No, not that one, not those ones. The 9's traditional ones. Like 8 from one and then 1 obvious one. Right, I'm going to go through these again. This is your last chance, so pay attention. How many days of Christmas are there? What plant should you kiss under? The 3 gifts bought by the 3 wise men were gold, myrrh, and what? What good king looked out on the feast of Stephen? What is the name of surname of Kevin and his family in Home Alone? On which date is New Year's Eve this year? Who sang Step Into Christmas? Which royal is widely accredited with bringing Christmas tree to the UK? What sauce is served with turkey? December the 21st, the shortest day of the year, is referred to as the winter what? In what town was Jesus born? When is Bin Day? How many maids were milking? In which season does Christmas take place in Equatorial Guinea? And name Santa's reindeer.
Number 14, which season? Did you say which season, number 14?
Yes, which season does Christmas take place in Equatorial Guinea?
Okay.
All right, while you're doing that, let's talk about 2023. What are the plans, folks? What are the plans? What can we look forward to from you all?
So today, a new book.
Tony's what I know. Go on, Sam. I'll ask you first. What's 2023 bringing from Holland?
I've got 2 new books, definitely 2, maybe 3. The 20 comes out on May the 11th by Sam Holland, and the last in the Butler and West series comes out on July the 7th, and that one's called Out of the Ashes.
And that's the definite last. It's the end of the series.
It's the definite last of that series, and then I'm on the contract for a new series, which I can't talk about yet.
No, but that's exciting news in itself. Excellent stuff. Excellent.
I've got to write some because some of them aren't actually written yet.
But they will be. They will be. That's
it
the
will
main
be.
thing.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's always fine.
And Chris, what's 2023 bringing for you, creative wise?
I've got. Well, I'm not allowed to say really. I've got something coming out in October. That's not been announced yet. And if I say any more than that, someone will shout at me.
There we go. That's so good. And Tony, I believe you've already mentioned briefly what's coming out. It's the 5th book, isn't it?
5th book. It is being written under the title Trust No One. But I believe that there are probably about 15 of those coming out. So I think we probably have to change it. But as always seems to happen, when I start writing books, I think I've got some sort of I think subconsciously I just click into stuff that's going on in the world without really thinking about it. So my last book, No Way to Die, began as a pandemic book before the pandemic. And then when the pandemic
it's your fault, is it?
Well, when the pandemic happened, I stopped writing it and wrote something else. And the thing I started writing was about sort of the Patriot movement in America and got basically the guys that invaded Capitol Hill. And then while I was writing that, they invaded Capitol Hill.
Can you write a book when I become ridiculously rich and famous?
Well, I was hoping to write that about myself, but no, I actually started writing a book about Russian spies. And then they invaded the Ukraine. And it's just like, so everything I write,
Zelensky's going to give you a call in a bit.
Because real life gets in the way. And that's coming next year.
Awesome. Super stuff. Right. Shall we get some answers for this last round and then we can see who wins and who wins? Right. Number 1. How many days of Christmas?
12.
12 days of Christmas. Number 2. What plant should you kiss under?
Mistletoe.
Number 3, the 3 gifts were gold, myrrh, and
Frankincense.
Frankincense.
Number 4, the good king was
Wenceslas.
Wenceslas.
Yep. Number 5, Kevin and his family are
McAllister.
the McAllisters. Number 6,
Hey.
what day is New Year's Eve on?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Yeah, thought that might throw a wrinkle in. Number 7, Step into Christmas.
Elton John.
Elton John.
Elton John. Number 8, the royal widely accredited with bringing Christmas trees to the UK is
Albert.
Prince Albert, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Number 9, the sauce served with turkey.
Cranberry.
Cranberry.
Number 10, December the 21st, the shortest day of the year, is referred to as the
Solstice.
winter solstice. Yeah. Number 11, place where Jesus was born is
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. Yeah.
Bethlehem.
Number 12, when is bin day?
No one
I don't
knows.
understand that question.
No one knows. It's a joke question, really, Tom.
Oh, right, okay. Thank God for that. I thought this is something that I just should know and didn't know.
I mean, the true answer is check your local council website for more details. But 13 is when 12 is actually when the neighbours put theirs out. And
All right, okay.
the best. Yeah. Number 13,
8.
8 indeed. Number 14,
Summer.
Summer.
winter. It's actually north of the equator. Cheeky country. It's Equatorial Guinea.
Why are they calling themselves Equatorial anything?
I know. North of the
Lying
equator.
bastards.
North of the equator. Thrown everyone there, didn't they?
Do we get 1 point per reindeer?
1 point per reindeer here. So this is where winners become champions and losers become spoon holders. We've got Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donna or Donda, and Blitzen, and Rudolph. There's 9.
9.
Oh, I got 6.
Oh, Tony got 9. There's 6. That was a big swing there. Chris?
I wrote Dancer twice, so I got 8.
So close. So close.
So close.
Right, I'll let you all top those up, folks. We should get the scores. Tony is banned from writing about nuclear weapons and war. So, if anyone else wants to suggest anything that Tony should be banned about writing about, please do so. Don't just put period. That'd be a bit hard.
You understand?
That can't be right, wouldn't it?
Right. I see some good counting. Chris, you look like you've got an answer.
I'm done.
I've got mine, but I've got to add 2 numbers together, and that's right. I think I've got mine.
Wow, Sam Brownie's got 41. No pressure, anyone.
Bloody hell, that's...
I thought you were supposed to be crap, Sam.
Go on, Chris, you're leading, so you can start us off.
Okay, I got the same as Sam. 41.
41.
I got 38.
38.
I see. Got 34.
Oh, 34. Sorry, Sam, but this will be finding its way to you very soon.
Right. You actually have to send me that now. I want it as a...
I want to send it you. This will be coming.
That is the definition of competitive. I want proof that I won losing.
For the next target practice.
I've got something to show I was here.
Exactly. Tony, you've avoided this twice. 3rd time's the charm, obviously, next time. We'll make sure you lose. That. I'm only going to do Bookman Toe next time and questions that I know you're going to complain about the answer.
Shit out of me. The terrible thing is I've actually played that round before and I still don't understand it.
3rd time's the charm. 3rd time's the charm. Guys, thank you so much for being a wonderful guest to finish off our Winterfest today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I just want to say if there's anything you'd like to say to the group as regards as a thank you for 2022 or, hopes for 2023, if anyone had any messages to pass on or anything. Or
No, it's Merry Christmas. I hope everyone has a very, very nice Christmas period and get some rest. I need it. I hope you guys don't.
You certainly do. And whether it will happen or not with 2 young kids in the house is always up for debate.
That's always the problem.
Yeah. I think I think I can see the parents in this group here all going, it's not going to happen, is it? No, it's going to be an excitable time.
Exactly.
Yep. No, guys, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. So I will thank everyone for playing along at home. It's been great to have you all in the chat. Thank you so much for your comments. So it's a thanks to Sam, to Tony, and to Chris. Thank you all to all playing at home. I've been Ben Bruce, and I will be next year. Good night.
Right.
Night.